The chair now recognizes Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those statements were made in a political context in the heat of a campaign. We all know what that was about. It's all about politics, which is so much of what drives this place from the majority's perspective. Mr. Griffith, last week President Biden said, last week at a half-filled auditorium, President Biden said, if you increase spending, it'll bring inflation down. Do you agree with that statement?
I would love to know under what world that would actually work. We know that right now, all the money that the federal government is spending, all the new funds that are appropriated, that comes from borrowing money. And oftentimes, that borrowed money actually comes thanks to the central banks printing more money to purchase those bonds, which then are injected into the economy.
Yeah. So you disagree with that?
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Yes, me too. It's not. I not only disagree, I think it's stupid. Anyone who's got a brain understands that isn't going to work. I mean, it's like they've spent money like crazy. Are you surprised that we now have inflation, that the price of every single good and service is almost every single thing? I can't think of one that's not up. That almost every single good and service is up. Are you surprised about that?
No, I'm not surprised. We have the economy reopening, but on top of that, we have trillions of dollars more of federal dollars that have been injected into the economy. And besides that, we see housing prices that aren't even factored into that inflation rate. We have that housing bubble that is really becoming a burden now on middle-class families.
So the Democrats' economic plan seems to be a four-part plan. Step one, continue to lock down the economy. We're seeing Democrat governors, Democrat mayors go back to lockdown measures. So Democrats' economic plan, lock down the economy, spend like crazy. Number two, pay people not to work. Right? You talked about unemployment and situation in our economy today. So continue to lock down the economy, spend like crazy, pay people not to work, and step four they're getting ready to do, which is for the people who are working, we're going to raise your taxes. Now, again, that may be the four most stupid economic policies you can imagine, but that seems to be their economic plan. Do you agree?
No, that's absolutely the plan. And we know that the longer-term objective here is to centralize more power here in Washington, D.C., and to fundamentally transform the economy. They're not even hiding it. Within the infrastructure package that you're considering now, that Congress is considering now, we know that 95% of that is not even going to infrastructure, but it would actually try to revolutionize our energy industry, which by revolutionize, I mean costing a typical family $8,000 more per year to live by artificially driving up the cost of everything in their life that uses energy. And that's in the infrastructure plan.
Yeah. Now, the program we're talking about today, that this eviction and renter issue and everything, isn't it true that people who make up to $99,000 a year can be eligible for this program and not pay their rent? And they have to, well, isn't that true?
Yeah, states have a much leeway to put in those parameters, but in many instances, yes, people at that income level can qualify.
$99,000. Every employer I talk to in our district can't find people to work. And we have a program in our district, $99,000. You're in the top, jeepers, you're probably in the top 3 or 4% of income earners. If you make if you make almost 100 grand a year, you're at the top of the income scale in Champaign County, Ohio, Shelby County, Ohio. But they can self-attest, right? All they have to do is attest to it, write a statement. Now, no one really checks it and say, you know, I make $98,999.99, and I'm eligible to not pay my rent.
Well, not only can you self-attest to that, you can also self-attest to whether or not you were impacted by COVID.
Yes, yes, yes. That's the program, right? Do you think that's contributing to the fact that not a single employer out there that I've talked to can find people they want to work, that you got signs everywhere, help wanted, please help, we'll hire, come in, we'll give you a bonus if you come to work? Think that's contributing to that situation today?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And anecdotally, we know that happens. I mean, I've been all over the South over the last few months, and you see the signs. I've talked to business owners, but we see that as far as the data as well. We know that this is impacting the desire for people to actually want to go to work.
If you pay people not to work, you shouldn't be surprised when you can't find workers, right? I mean, the folks I represent, that's just common sense. They get it, right? They get it. This is the craziest. I mean, I've never seen a more crazy economic plan than what the Democrats keep putting forward. Lock down your economy, spend like crazy, which they say doesn't cause inflation, but everyone with the brain knows it does. Then they say, oh, we're going to pay people not to work. And, oh, for the people who've been working their tail off for the last year and a half or whatever, we're going to raise your taxes. Wow, such a deal. That's the Democrats' economic plan. and yet we have a hearing on this. We need to continue this program. We need to continue to let people self-attest that they make $98,999.99, and they can go without paying their rent. Holy cow. I just don't get it. And when this committee could be, as the only select committee in the Congress on coronavirus, could actually be asking the same question that the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal want us to ask, which is, why were we funding this research in Wuhan, China? What was really the origin of this virus? We should be dealing with that issue. Even the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal say that, but no, we're going to talk about this. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman for yielding back. The chair now recognizes Ms. Velasquez.
Thank you, Mr.